Welcome to the short demonstration of how to plan your day and take action using the action machine. So here we are at the beginning of our day, and we've decided that there are 6 major tasks that we want to complete today. We want to work on a client project. We want to clear our inbox. We want to write a blog post for our blog. We want to create 2 new videos. We want to pay our bills, and we want to organize our office. So we've got a pretty full day. So let me just go ahead and explain to you how and show you how to enter this information into the action machine and put it to use. Okay? So we have our list of things that we want to do. Now the next step is to decide how much time we want to spend on each action item. Okay, so let's go down through the list, and as we take each item, we'll figure out how much time we want to spend to it, and then I'll add it to our day's activities within the action machine. Okay? So first of all, we want to work on a client project, and we want to spend 2 hours on that. So 120 minutes. So we'll come up here to the add an action box right here, and we'll enter 120 for 2 hours. That's 120 minutes, and then we'll type in work on client project, and then we can hit the plus button here or just hit enter, and you can see that this has added a timer to the interface, a 120-minute timer called work on client project. Okay, so that's the first thing we want to do today. Next thing we want to do, we want to clear our inbox. We want to spend 30 minutes doing that. So 30 minutes, clear inbox. Next thing we want to do is write a blog post. That'll take about 30 minutes. So we'll write blog post. Next thing we want to do is create 2 videos. We'll just set aside another 2 hours for that. Create 2 videos. And then we want to pay our bills. That'll take about 30 minutes. Pay bills. And then finally we want to organize our office. So we want to spend about 60 minutes organizing our office. So we'll type in 60 organize office. And now we have our 6 things listed. Alright, and one of the things that you want to pay attention to now that we have our day planned out, is this total time here. Okay, this total time shows 6 hours and 30 minutes. Now that's the total amount of time. When you add up all the time that we've set aside for all these 6 actions, that's the time that it's going to take. Okay, and if you look up here, if you put your mouse over in this area, it's currently 6:27 p.m. and if I put my mouse over this, if I were to start, normally I would start this in the morning. This would probably be 6:27 a.m. but I'm doing this video in the evening. So if I were to start these set of actions, these 6 actions today, the action machine, if I put my mouse over this area, says that I'll be able to complete them by 12:57 a.m. Okay, so that's 6.5 hours from right now. Now we could look at this and say, well, 6.5 hours, that's a pretty full day, but I want to spend a good 8 hours getting things done. And if there's something here that I can work on more, let's do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to adjust the time here. I want to work on the client project. I'm going to add another hour to that. So I'll just click the 180 on the timer bar here. So now I have a total amount of time for my actions are 7 hours and 30 minutes. And I'm going to spend a little bit more time maybe on creating these videos. I'm going to add 30 minutes to that, and I can click on this little time slider, and I'll move this over to 2 hours and 30 minutes. So now I have an exact 8 hours worth of actions for today represented in these 6 timers here. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do now that I have all my actions set out in the action machine and I have my day planned is I want to get to work. And the way that I do that is I come up here to the first timer, which is work on client project, and I click the start button right there, and it will start counting down from 3 hours, which is what I've set aside for this project, until it gets to 0. Okay, and the idea is to work on this particular task, this action, and only this action, for for the next 3 hours until it's completed, and I don't mess around with checking email. I don't mess around with logging into Facebook or Twitter or anything else like that, getting a drink. I work solely on this project until the alarm goes off, and then I move on to the next task, which is clear my inbox. Spend 30 minutes doing that by clicking the timer, letting it count down. Then once that's done, an alarm will go off. I'll start the next task until I knock out all these different tasks for the day, and I've taken action throughout the day. Now, it's important to note that obviously this task is set aside. I've set aside 3 hours for this, and I wouldn't want to sit and do this for 3 hours without a break. Alright, I want a break about every 30 minutes. Well, the Action Machine can take care of that. There's a slider right here that says 30, that's set for 30 right there. You can see it. That means 30 minutes. And what that means is when this timer counts down from 3 hours to 2 hours and 30 minutes, you'll get a notification. And it's just a little sound to let you know that, hey, you've spent 30 minutes at work. It's time to take a break. Okay, so what you'll do when you're ready to take a break is you'll come over to this break timer on the Action Machine, decide how much time you want to spend on your break, whether that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes if it's a lunch break, and you'll click it. Let's say you want to spend 5 minutes. So you click that, and now the bar on the break timer will start pulsing to let you know that it's activated for 5 minutes, and clicking the break timer automatically paused the timer that you were working on, the actual timer of working on your client project. And the way the break timer works is now you've got 5 minutes to check email or get a drink or whatever it may be that you want to do, and this break timer will count down. And once 5 minutes are up, you'll hear an alarm to say, hey, break's over, it's time to get back to work. Once that happens, I'm going to manually do that because I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes, but I'll go ahead and reset that. And once that alarm goes off, then you come back over to this timer and click the play button and start work again. And once this timer passes another 30 minutes, you'll get another notification to say, hey, it's another 30 minutes has passed and it's time to take another break, and so on. Okay, so that's how you manage long tasks using the Action Machine. Now, finally, what I want to show you is how you kind of track your progress. Now, watch this part of the interface right here when I complete this timer. I'm going to do this manually because obviously you don't want to sit here for 3 hours waiting for this timer to go down. I'm going to go ahead and do this manually by clicking this button right here, which completes the timer automatically. And now the timer is completed. You'll see a check mark to say, hey, you've done this, time to move on to the next task. But over here you'll see that this part of the interface has updated, and sometimes this area will update, and that's explained in the user's guide and the videos as well, how to use this particular part of the interface. But you'll see that this number updated, that lets you know how many actions you've completed, and I went from 28 completed actions to 29. And what I can do also to track my progress is click this button right here, which will generate a report. And this report gives me all kinds of information about how I've spent my day on various days: Monday, April 4th, Saturday, April 2nd, and Friday, April 1st, and so on. And it'll give me all kinds of information about those tasks that I've done, how much time I've spent on them, the total amount of time I've spent for the week on these various actions, and so on. So you get a lot of information, just not overwhelming, just enough to know and track your progress about how you're taking action. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. And that is a demonstration of the basics of using the Action Machine. There's a lot more to it, and a lot of great useful tools for helping you to really manage your time like a pro. And as I mentioned before, that's all explained in the user's guide, as well as some of the support videos that I provide. So I hope this has been useful for you, and that you've seen how to use the basics of the Action Machine and can really tell how this will help you to get things done. Alright, so that's it for now, and thanks for watching.